Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Vinyl Talk with Tavis, and I'm Tavis. Today's video is all about an unboxing of one of my most favorite gospel singer and composers of all time. Now, my most favorite is Andre Crouch. However, I have others, and this is one of them. Before I unbox this wonderful album, when I was a boy, my mother would go to the pharmacy to get her medication. And next door, there was this gospel record shop. I was probably 12 or 13 years old. And I used to go and run in there, and she would be shopping in the pharmacy, but I would leave and go to the record store, and she would probably be wondering where I was, and she would always come to that store and see that I was there. And I came upon an album by the Richard Smallwood singers. And I just saw this lovely photo. The album cover was just so regal. I was like, I've got to get this. And so I asked my mom for the money, and she gave it to me, and I bought the record and brought it home, and it was just Richard Smallwood singers, I tell you. The 80s gospel music was just so good. Man. And so that's when I got familiar with that group. And of course, as the years progressed, their music progressed and became more contemporary. And today, I got one of those albums. And this album, and I have my trusty knife, hope it works. There we go. I got this from eBay. I had to get it. And it had to be new. I didn't want no used Richard Smallwood album. And I kept talking to the seller. I said, are you sure it's sealed? Are you sure? And this seller was so kind. He said, yes, it's sealed. He sent me an extra picture of it. And I remember being a teenager, probably 15, 16. And the more I learned about Richard Smallwood and the music that he was creating, I wanted to play like him because his music had such a classical, of course, he went to Howard University, if I'm not mistaken, and I have my trusty other phone to share with you some information about him. There he is. This man is now 76 years old. He's going to be 77 in November of this year, 2025. It's just, I mentioned this before, it's so hard to understand how the people that we loved as teenagers, they are so up in age. And when I see them now, it's like sometimes they're barely walking. Sometimes they like to just sit down. But at the time when we loved them and we learned about them, they were just doing their thing and they were really just out there. And now they're like laid back and like, listen, let me sit down for a second. Have y'all seen Donnie McClurkin lately? Even he's gotten up in age. Even he just seems like he's sick. Man, when he did We Fall Down and We Get Up, watch this video of him talking about that. Watch Donnie McClurkin talk about how he knows that he's getting up in age and he doesn't sing and tour the way he used to. Watch this.
Do you plan to go on tour in the future? I'm 125 years old. I leave that to Cece. Cece's on tour every 3 months for the last 3 years. She done had 6 different names for 6 different tours and got another one coming up overseas. I talked to Cece about a month ago. I said, now listen, I'm not gonna be like you. I ain't gonna be no Tyrannosaurus Rex out here. A dinosaur trying to still say, yeah, now we fall down. Come on, y'all. We get up. We get up. But we fall down. Did I say that right? I'm not going to be out there like that. I ain't going to be out there like that. I got one more good tour in me. We're working on one more recording right now. We're going to be recording in June down in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm I want as many singers that want to fly down, and we're going to have about 20 or 30 singers in Nashville come together, and we're just going to worship and praise. And it's going to be a TBN in Nashville.
Yep, that's what happens, you know. We all get old. Or should I say we all get older and wiser. But yet again, we all get old. Now, I'm going to be 53 in July 17 to be exact. But I still feel like I'm in my 30s. But I've digressed. But I have come to unbox this. Boy, this man did this right. Boy, look at all this stuff. This is Richard Smallwood's album called Vision. Now, this is the first time I'm seeing it. I remember buying this cassette. Oh my God. Let's see, I'm probably not gonna have this video monetized, but let's just listen to the interlude of the first song, Vision. Just take a listen. Take a listen, enjoy it. I'm gonna play just a little snippet of it. Here we go. Now, can't you just hear that clear classical music in that introduction? As a music major myself, when I was in college, I had to study classical music, and I fell in love with Baroque music. And Bach is my favorite classical composer. You can just hear that Bach music. You can hear that Baroque sound. You can hear how he gave reverence to his college studies of music. So I was very involved in the Baptist church, playing the piano, trying to understand his chord progressions. And I knew I wanted to study music in college, but I just felt like I didn't have the theory behind me. So I was playing everything by ear. And so knowing that he was doing classical music in his gospel music was just, it blew me away. But this album, the Richard Smallwood singers, y'all just don't understand. I say that all the time. You just don't understand how much I love that man. Let me talk to you. Well, let me open this up first. Give me a second. Okay, so I'm going to keep the plastic on here because that's my choice. And I've never owned this on vinyl. And I just love this picture. And me and Richard, we have spoken on Facebook, and we've talked about his albums, his older albums, in which the company that did his earlier albums, I think it was Onyx Records, he said that the building, I believe he said the building burned down or something. And so all of his earlier music, which is just so classic, it's very expensive to buy. All of his masters, I think, were burnt up in a fire. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. When he told me that, I said, Richard. And he was like, yeah, I understand. I said, my God. Because here are all of his greatest his wonderful earlier albums. I mean, they were just so wonderful. It's so great to hear. In fact, the album that I first bought, I think that's one of the records that were destroyed. But somehow, you know, they can take MP3s, turn them into WAV files and redistribute them and all this. But I was like, Richard, no. But this album, Vision, has some of the most beautiful gospel music on Rejoice Records. Remember when the Clark sisters, they were on Rejoice Records as well? I think Shirley Caesar was on Rejoice Records as well too. But this just looks phenomenal. Man, Vision, it has on here Renew in me, Lord, a right spirit, 'cause I wanna be right. 'Cause I wanna be right. Man. And then it had be faithful, you better mind, a love so strong, in this house, you did it all, power of God. When the glory of God fills his holy temple, he will lift us high. Man, I mean, I was just so in love with this album. I tried to teach my choir. They didn't understand. I was trying to teach my choir these songs. They thought it was too, not contemporary, but it was too complicated. But we did the best we could. Let's see, does he have a, he usually has an instrumental on here. Oh! The Lord's Prayer when he's playing the piano. Oh! Jesus, that man can play the piano. Richard Smallwood. I've got to talk to you about this man. Listen to this. We are celebrating Richard Smallwood today. Listen. Richard Smallwood graduated cum laude from Howard University with a dual BA degree in classical vocal performance and piano, in addition to graduate work in the field of ethnomusicology. Smallwood was a member of the Celestials, the first gospel group on the Howard University's campus. That group was the first gospel act to appear at Switzerland's Montreux Jazz Festival. Smallwood was also a founding member of Howard's first gospel choir. Smallwood's recording career began in 1982 with the album The Richard Smallwood Singers. The album spent 87 weeks on the Billboard's gospel chart. Its follow-up, Psalms, was nominated for a Grammy. 2 years later, the album Textures, which is what I can't wait to get on vinyl, was also nominated. Textures spawned the now classic Center of My Joy, written by Richard Smallwood along with Bill and Gloria Gaither. Smallwood won his first Grammy along with a Dove Award for his production on the Quincy Jones gospel project Handel's Messiah, A Soulful Celebration. So those are the records that I remember. All of his albums, personally for me, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I truly enjoyed his stint with the Richard Smallwood Singers. When he branched off and dealt more with choirs, I wasn't as enthusiastic, but I just enjoyed that close 5, 4, 6-part harmony that was going on with this group. I tell you, and I'm great Facebook friends with Caroline. Her name is Caroline Evans, and she is such a joy to talk to on Facebook. I don't know if she still performs, but man, she could really sing. And I love, she was always so, she was like the Madonna of the group. She always had the wild hair. She always just had a style of her own. And one of the members had passed away. Therefore, I think Darlene Simmons took her place. Darlene Simmons right here. But Dottie Jones was just wonderful. And Jackie, oh, Jackie, she had that deep Baptist voice. Oh, man. So, Richard Smallwood, I want to give you your flowers right now. I appreciate your music. I still listen to it. It is as fresh today as it was back then. And I know you've created great music after the Smallwood Singers, but I truly appreciate your time with the Smallwood Singers, the sound that you cultivated and developed, which led you to do that wonderful song called Total Praise, and which is probably your most famous song. But to me, the Smallwood Singers, man, and I started a little gospel group when I was in college. It wasn't Tavis Minner and the Minner Singers, but it was close to it. And I had 4 or 5 girls who would sing with me, and we sounded just like them, if not better. No, we were not better, but we tried our best to sound like them. I just want to give credit to the phenomenal Richard Smallwood, and I'm so proud of this album. If you are a fan of Richard Smallwood, let me know. If you're not, I suggest that you listen to his music on YouTube and find him on Spotify or wherever the music is streaming. I'm sure that you will enjoy his music as well. Well, it's been fun unboxing this wonderful, great album for you. And as always, with music, be inspired and stay inspired.